The Spurs won the Wemby series. Naturally, what's next is Wemby winning Rookie of the Year. But with Summer League all wrapped up and one of the most stacked rookie classes being able to show their stuff, the Rookie of the Year race will be much closer than you think.
We've all heard about it. The Wembyama hype is at a fever pitch, and Summer League did little to slow that down. I mean, the cat's bringing up the ball at 7'4", blocking shots left and right, showing flashes of why he's widely considered the best prospect since Bron. With all that hype, my man is the clear-cut favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
There is no doubt about it. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys today. We're going to break down who we think is going to give Wemby a run for his money in the Rookie of the Year race.
Victor Wembanyama is the singular greatest prospect in NBA draft history.
Let's get this straight, man. This isn't your typical European big. If this all hits for him, we're talking about Gobert on defense, but taller. Karl Towns in the pick and roll, but more athletic. But that's not even the part I find most impressive. It's the passing. I saw that handle in the first Summer League game when y'all were ready to jump off the bandwagon, and I'm thinking he's going to be great. It's just a question of when. Will he be on that Tim Duncan timeline NBA media would like us to believe, or will it take more time like a Giannis? I think it's still too early to tell, but either way, he's definitely the best prospect in the class. But he might not be the best player in it. And there's a distinction there for good reason. Prospects are judged on potential. And don't get me wrong, Vic has lots of it. But the Rookie of the Year won't be chosen based on potential.
There's no doubt about it. And I mean, listen, we got to give Wemby his flowers. We know every single person in the world when we were watching Summer League was watching to see how Wembyama was going to play out, how he was going to perform, how well he was going to do on the court. And don't get me wrong, I think there were spurts where it showed that he is a rookie. He is an 18, 19-year-old who has a lot to learn. But at the same time, with defenses poised to stop him, with players setting out to embarrass him, I think Victor Wembanyama has held his own and more, and not only in his 2 games in the Summer League, but in his time in France. I mean, again, you think it sits well with those French vets thinking, hey, I've been in this league forever, and this 18-year-old pencil's getting all this credit? But nah, Victor Wembanyama, with all the hype, has been able to hold it down for his team. He has an early MVP. Although I think it's going to be a challenge, there's no doubt about it that Wembanyama is the clear-cut favorite.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be a challenge when we get to that 82 of 82. All that dribbling, getting it back up to his 7'4" frame. He's going to have to clean a lot of it up. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be clunky. But let's be honest, it's not just the game he's adjusting to. It's not just the culture. We know what the Spurs are going to do. The originators of load management, they will be handpicking the games they allow Vic to play in. And even with all that potential, he's still a project in their eyes. Projects don't tend to win Rookie of the Year.
You're speaking facts. They're going to do everything to make sure that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. They don't necessarily care about Rookie of the Year. So one of the guys that I think has the opportunity to maybe steal this trophy from Victor Wembanyama, the Rookie of the Year, is none other than Wembanyama Light, Chet Holmgren, Victor Wembanyama from last year. A little shorter, but it's hard to say not as much size when the guy is 7'4". You know, Chet Holmgren is a guy who looks like he does all the things that Wembanyama does. He's already adjusted to life in the United States. And although he's missed his rookie year due to injury, this is a guy who's already had a full year as a professional in the background, the working out, the day-to-day.
An extra year of seasoning where he was able to watch up close. It's only going to help the forgotten about number 2 overall pick from a year ago back on his rookie campaign. And he's more than capable of winning Rookie of the Year. It's not difficult to see how he'd do it. He's got the skills to be a dominant rim protector, the touch to operate from the elbows, and an all-NBA point guard to find him in all the right spots. Now on the downside, that same all-NBA guard, SGA, will be the star of the show for OKC, so it might be hard for him to get the same opportunity Victor, or the next guy we're going to touch on, is going to have.
Now we want to go to this guy's Summer League. The guy was a walking double-double. I mean, 19.8 points, 9.8 rebounds a game, 4 blocks in limited minutes. I mean, this guy, Chet Holmgren, was looking exactly like himself. Minus, his jump shot was a little inefficient, turned the ball over a little bit too much. But for a guy coming back from a major injury like that, Chet Holmgren looks like he's put on some pounds and he's about to take this trophy from Vic. As of right now, Vic needs this year to put the weight on his frame. I think Chet is going to make a very, very big impact his rookie year.
Yeah, the question for me is who's going to shoot it better? Because Victor and Chet both do a lot of things really well on the basketball court. But the icing on the cake, the reason they go number 1, number 2 in the NBA draft is because of what they can do from the perimeter. So who's going to be knocking down in long distance, making defenders look foolish for sagging off. That's going to be the deciding factor for me.
These guys are going to be seeing each other a lot. I mean, OKC, San Antonio, pretty close by. There's going to be a lot of matchups between these two guys, right? And the difference between Chet and Wembanyama and maybe some other rookies we're going to be talking about when they face off against Wembanyama, these guys are going to be guarding each other the entire game.
While we called Victor a project, this next guy is the exact opposite. Scoot Henderson is ready right now. I know, he only played 3/4 of Summer League, but I've seen enough. The athleticism is upper echelon, and his ability to get by defenders just as good. He's fast, always going downhill. He's got the frame to take contact at the rim. To me, there's no player in this class more NBA ready than Scoot.
It's funny, man. It took us a whole year of building Wembanyama over Scoot when Scoot was dominating the G League night in and night out, right? But Scoot gets his get back. It only took 21 minutes for NBA GMs and scouts to be questioning if Victor Wembanyama was truly deserving of the #1 spot. He is. Don't get me wrong, but imagine the impact that Scoot was able to have in those 21 minutes. We're talking about 21 minutes, 15 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. This is somebody who's able to, in a moment, be a spark plug. I would have loved to see what he would have been able to do if he could have stayed in the entire game. You know, like Ty mentioned, leaving for a shoulder injury. But some of the things that are going to be working against Scoot, Victor's size, Victor's long-term potential, although I think Scoot is the ready guy right now. A lot of people are high on Victor and saying he has the opportunity to be in a conversation of greats like LeBron James. So I think there's no doubt that Scoot Henderson has shown potential right now. But long-term, is he going to be the better player over Victor Wembanyama? And I think that's where all the questions arise from.
Yeah, and in terms of how he stacks up against Wemby, the good thing is we don't have to wait to find out because they just matched up a couple months back, and guess what Scoot did? 28-9 with the dub. That's a little preview. Scoot's coming. All right, man, I think that's going to do it. Another exclusive of the Hoop Plug in the book. Before we get out of here, we just want to tell you about the best men's hair grooming company in the game, EvanAlexanderGrooming.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys already know EvanAlexanderGrooming.com, the best place, the only place to get all your hair care, skin care, beard care needs. As you guys can see, beards over here on the Hoop Plug looking luscious. I didn't get an opportunity to use my Alexander Grooming care products this morning, so you see I'm all over the place. But nonetheless, if you guys are trying to get right like us, go to EvanAlexanderGrooming.com and put in promo code at checkout hoop_plug_ for 15% off. And as always, guys, thanks for rocking with us. Put some flavor in your